Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Shirley and Pete on what a great legacy you left in Eagle County Schools.
Congratulations, Pete, for getting into Eagle Valley Hall of Fame. You well deserved of that. And we have tons of stories we could tell about Pete. We'll keep it down a little bit because it can take an hour.
Yeah, Hall of Fame, that's awesome. Pete and Shirley both need to be the first ones in there for sure.
You know, one of the things I think that's important to do is honor people who have had such a great commitment. And certainly, you guys fit that role. I do have to question though some of Pete's decisions. For instance, buying these kind of hats is definitely one of your bad decisions. But if that's probably the worst thing that you left us, we're in good shape. You know, one of the things that I think is important in events like this, it's always a great time for us to dispel any myths around people. You know, some of the things that the public should know that are really myths that we need to dispel. Pete's original application to the district was not submitted on a rock tablet. We actually had paper back then, and I actually pulled that file out today to make sure we could verify that. And finally, I don't think Pete actually hates everybody from Meeker. I've seen him throw a lot of people out of town and out of the gyms over the years at events from Meeker, but I really think there are still people in Meeker that he actually enjoys their company.
You know, when Randy and I came in here, we were pretty young, I think 23, 24 years old, and Pete was really like a father figure, I think, more than anything to us. I can remember more than one instance where he had to say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I remember one day we had kids in the locker room. It was at the end of the year and we were going to get them wet. So we had the showers plugged and we were running them through the water, and he came in and I remember a comment he said is, "I think our teachers are worse than the kids sometimes." And another time I remember him kind of chewing me out was when we suited up and played against our team.
Fearsome Foursome.
We were the Fearsome Foursome, yeah, and then Pete says, "Yeah, that's all good, but who's running your practice?" You know, and I had to stop and think, yeah, that probably wasn't smart. We had a lot of fun. I think kids had fun, but we haven't done that again.
One thing I noticed throughout the years with Dad is he treated everybody the same, regardless of who you were, whether you're an athlete or not. I think not necessarily all the kids probably really liked him when they were going to school here, but I think as time went on, they did come to respect him.
He treated him with respect. He expected respect. He treated everybody the same way. He wanted to get the best out of everybody, and he knew how to go about that. Pete was actually my Colorado history teacher in 7th grade. And I could still see him with his sideburn chops up in front of the class. He was a heck of a Colorado history teacher. We went through every detail. We were kind of a wild bunch, and we figured out early on we really respected our teachers. We could get him stirred up, to get him going talking about athletics, because we knew if we could get him started that way, we could get out learning about history. The worst thing in the world for me was to have the school call my dad and tell him I was into mischief, because I got twice as much trouble when I got home. And Mr. Nolan, he knew how that worked, and I certainly wasn't a saint by any measure. But his favorite line was, "Hey Green, I need to call your dad." "No sir, Mr. Nolan, what do you need?" So the football field needed painted, the baseball field needed painted. He needed turf laid. So even though we may not have done anything to get into mischief, Roundtree, myself, several of us, he always had a chain gang that was disciplinary so that we could get the fields painted, get the trash picked up before the big game, or get the sod laid. It was actually pretty educational for us because we still had trouble. There's no sugarcoating. I can remember him screaming down the hall, screaming, "You little sons of bitches!" His head was completely red, just going like crazy, but you knew where you stood all the time. And I think that legacy, a lot of this success was built around that. I know he supported his coaches, he supported the kids, he supported Eagle Valley High School athletics. And, I think this school the owner around it is rooted in a lot of what Mr. Nolan did back in the day.
You know, as you look at the evolution of athletics in Eagle County, it goes unsaid that some way Pete Nolan was probably behind it. I've heard a lot of good stories around you know, kids that you chased over the years and kept them in school. I think that hopefully you hear those stories that you made a difference in kids' lives over the years, and those guys are now sending their kids to your school that you've built over the years. And that's a proud moment, and you have to be proud of it. Quotes like, you know, if you don't like it, there's the door. If you think this is easy, you get down here and do it. You know, are all things that a lot of people think that, you know, Pete said to people in the gyms, but actually those are things that I actually heard Shirley say to Pete. And I think he actually stole those quotes from her because I think he was hearing that at home. So here in the Legacy Hallway, one of the Foundation's projects that got accomplished last year, you can find Pete Nolan right here. He was the student body manager, quite a dapper young man, but notice that we also put the class of '56 on the bottom row, just out of respect for Pete and his lack of height. But as you work your way down this hallway, one of the school records that Pete holds, he actually has his picture in this hallway more than any individual, either by being a student or being a member of the faculty. So if we look down this hallway, we go all the way down one side and back up the other side. He almost makes it back to the door where he started with his class picture in 1997. So as you compare those two photos, you can obviously see the age and also the toll it takes on an individual and their lack of hair. So one of the legacy projects last year was Trophy Case in partnership with our community. And one of the things to note is when you walk by, know that Pete Nolan was the athletic director or coach for the majority of these awards that are held in this case. So it's a great tribute to our community and the efforts of our alumni. Most importantly, the coaches, you know, that influence these young athletes on a daily basis doesn't go without saying. Congratulations. You know, when you think about Shirley, what a sweetheart. You know, she was the face of Eagle County Schools in a lot of different roles. Going through her contracts, we have contracts linking her to district office, being a head secretary at multiple schools. Even found a contract in there with her being a custodian for the whopping rate of $1 an hour. There's true dedication when you look at that. Back in '64, you know, a dollar must have gone a lot farther than it does today. As we think about, you know, Eagle Valley High School, Eagle Valley Elementary, just the community in general, there's certainly an iconic face that we want to honor, and congratulations to.
With Mom dealing with the elementary and going to school there, see her every day, she worked her tail off in that office. She loved going to work. I remember she loved the kids, and probably why she stuck with it for so long. Just didn't want to retire. And she worked her tail. She came home. She worked hard at home, and that's the biggest thing with Mom that a lot of people saw is that she had to put up with Dad. And that's fairly impressive. So that's the biggest thing.
One of the best things about Shirley was whenever we had a little emergency, no matter how many of us bombarded her throughout the day with our little emergencies, she always smiled and accepted it and said she'll get to it. But at the bottom of her desk was a sign saying, "Your emergency is not necessarily the same as my emergency." Shirley was just the heart and soul of our school. We all went to her anytime we needed help. I can't remember how many times I'd run in the office, "Shirley, help!" And she calmed us down. She kept everything running. We love her.
With Shirley, our school never would have been able to run as efficiently as it did. Even her money budgeting skills, she was able to manage all of the money in the whole building and was always right on budget. She was an amazing organizer and kept our building up and running. Thanks, Shirley.
We've had several principals since I've been a teacher here at Eagle Valley Elementary. all of them thought they were the principal, but really Shirley was the one who knew how to run everything, who to call, who not to call, and when to do it. Shirley was really the principal.
This is for Shirley, who is absolutely the best school secretary that could ever be. I always had difficulty with technology, or I'd forget to do something, and Shirley was always there with a smile on her face, calm as could be, saying, "It's okay, Nan, I'll take care of it." And I missed her when I was away from Eagle Valley for a couple of years, and I'm happy that she is retired because she certainly earned it. But she will always be in my heart, and I wish her the best in the future.
Hi Shirley, we miss you. And I just have to say, Shirley, that you saved my life a million times. You always knew what I needed before I even knew that I needed it, and you usually did it for me before I even knew that I needed it. So, most valuable, we miss you. Bye.
Shirley,
You were our
anchor.
You were the calm in the storm.
You are our friend.
Shirley, we miss you.
Another wonderful thing about Shirley was her organizational skills. When it was learn to ski time, she had it down pat. She was able to gather all kinds of materials, get it all together, take it home, and put it together. Although I think the wine helped a lot. And that's why she took it home and didn't do it at school.
We could also mention the partying after, but I don't know if that'd be appropriate to say.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay,
Okay.
Big thing, Dad, everybody kind of knows him from the high school, but Mom's just a hard worker and loves athletics just as much as he did. And again, I think Mom deserves probably most of the credit for putting up with Dad. That deserves to go in the Hall of Fame right there.
Enjoy it. Tonight's about you, and we honor you tonight. And Eagle County Schools cannot be prouder than having two people like yourselves be around kids and lead our community in a lot of different endeavors. And you're the best.